So, hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to Koper in Slovenia, where I'm taking a load. I think it's 14 tons. Yes, 14 tons of ice cream to Vigo. So I decided, since my MotoGP 24 career came to an abrupt end, that I'll try something different, and I decided that I haven't played Euro Truck Simulator for a long time, so let's give it a shot. Also new here is that I'm using... Oh, I think I went wrong. Yes. Whoops, that was not good. Let's go over here. So yes, this is the first time I'm actually using, or a second time, I'm not sure, head tracking. I'm using it via Smooth Track app, because I just can't justify myself spending a few €100 on Track IR or similar hardware when I don't think I'll get too much use out of it, so this was a way cheaper option. I'm still getting used to it, I'm still setting it up, so if my movement looks a bit jerky, I hope it's not too bad to watch. So here I'm in my trusty Scania. I'm in Scania S series, 730 horsepower engine. I used to drive Scania R series, but yeah, just before this video I changed to S series, and yes, here we are, a bit taller truck, not major differences. As far as I understand, it's just that the cab is a bit higher up, so that the floor is flat instead of having a small bump in it to accommodate the engine. Yes, so I think when I get out of Koper and onto the highway, I will probably fast forward some of the trip, probably as a time lapse, because it's a long trip and I think no one could be expected to just watch an hour or so of me rumbling around while driving through Europe. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll meet you all a bit later during this trip. So I'm making a quick stop here to take a rest, because I didn't do that before the trip. To be honest, I actually forgot, and so we'll go here. So parking brake on, lights off, engine off, and now we can sleep. Okay, so sleep is done, and now we can go back on our merry way. So yeah, as you can see, whenever I'm trying to reach some controls, my camera is panning to the right, because on that side is my old phone, on which I have installed Sim Dash Hub, which I'm using to have most of my controls instead of keyboard. I used to have everything mapped out on my keyboard, but since I started using wheel stand instead of clamping wheel to my table, keyboard is just a bit hard to reach now. So I decided to try this, and yeah, I have a nice dashboard with some signal lamps and most of controls needed to operate the truck in this game mapped on it. So yeah, it basically, I press a button on my screen and the game recognizes it as if I pressed the button on my keyboard, so that's how it works. I also hope to be receiving a cheap but hopefully enough of a hardware tablet that I will then switch in place of this phone, just because it's a bigger screen, so buttons will be bigger and easier to find. For now this is good enough, but yeah, bigger screen could do wonders for me. Also, I went here, but I'd like to go to a telepass or cart, because then I don't have to stop. It's coming great. So yeah, that's what I'm using for the first time this time around, a Sim Dash Hub control dashboard on my phone. I used it in Le Mans Ultimate to make quick adjustments, because I didn't have enough buttons on my steering wheel for everything that I needed. So yeah, it's just that there is a lot more buttons than I needed in Le Mans Ultimate, so I still have to look down and check what I'm pressing. Also, something I'm currently thinking about is that I plan to, or I wish to, in near future, say a few months, change my steering wheel. I'm now still on my G29 that I have had for, I think, 7.5 years now. It still works good, it's still a decent wheel. I just want to try something different, and also I want something that's a little bit quieter, because especially in rally games this wheel can get really loud because of how force from force feedback motor is transferred to the wheel through gears. So I'm looking to get into direct drive wheels, and so far my, let's say, favorite is Moza R5, because bundled I get bass and pedals and wheel all in one. Yeah, I know that pedals, especially brake for that wheel, is not great, but down the line I can always upgrade to some better pedals, or at least use a, what are they calling it, a performance kit for the brake pedal, so apparently it feels then a bit like G29 brake, which I got used to. So yeah, that's my plan for some near future. So this is a new toll road that's starting here, and just after we start the toll road I'll start the time lapse again, and I'll meet you all a bit later. So here we are starting another toll road, and I decided that I'll go to take a rest here in the next rest area, just because night is really dark in this game, and I think for a video at least daylight looks much better. So yeah, here I will park my truck, I'll take a rest, and in the morning we will continue on with my trip. So good morning everyone, we are now here in okay, I accidentally pressed something on my keyboard when I went to see the map, so I activated my hazards even though I didn't want to. So yeah, let's see, where is my map? Oh yes, I remapped buttons. So here we are going to see the map in navigation, world map. We are still in Italy. We started here in Koper. We are in Italy, and this is where we should be heading to Vigo. So we will pass through France and through Spain, and hopefully soon enough we'll be at the end of our trip without any major issues. So let's go on. Let's turn the engine on. But I have about 2/3 of the fuel tank. I want refuel still. I'll do that somewhere later. Why is the retarder activated? Okay. So let's go. Continue our trip, almost past Italy and into France. So again, another rest is needed. We are nearing the allowed hours to drive, and I'm not sure how far away will be the next rest stop, so there it is. This will beat the purpose of the last stop for a bit, because we will now be in the night, but it is what it is. Also, we are now about halfway through this trip, some 100 kilometers left until we are actually at 100%, at halfway, sorry. So yeah, we are getting there. I should put my brights on, even though it's a bit unrealistic in this amount of traffic, but I want to see where I'm going. So yeah, halfway through, hereabouts, and yeah, so far no big issues in this trip. I'm still getting used to this head tracking, so yeah, that's the only actually issue, but not trip related issue that I have. I had a speeding ticket in Italy, if you didn't see, and basically that's all. And oh yes, I had a tiny accident with another truck where I got fined, I think, €900. But as you can see here on the right, money is not really the issue. I have a ton of drivers that are already working for me, and I still plan to spend a good chunk of this money that I have to hiring new drivers, buying new trucks and new garages, because all my garages are full. So yeah, the game is basically now just an easy playthrough for me. I have achieved that. Even if I don't do deliveries, my company is still good money wise, and I still can buy new trucks, new drivers, and new garages and trailers. So yeah, but also this save is, I think I have it since when I got the game. I don't play it that much, sadly, but the amount I play, it allowed me to reach, I think it's level 40 something, and to reach where basically the company is self-sufficient. I can just drive around and do nothing, and I'd still earn money. But that's not fun. Much more fun to, I'll go get fuel here. It's much more fun to actually drive and do something in this game, and I usually do that when there are big updates to the game, or when new map DLC comes out, or when we have events like for Christmas or Valentine's, where I then play a game for some, and then after that is done, I leave it be for a bit. Then again, when new update comes, usually with new trucks or with new maps, or like this time with new physics. So yeah, all in all, I do love playing this game. I just don't spend too much time on it because I still have to work, and I also have other games that I like to play, so I have to divide my time between all of them. This is some messy road design here. Almost like a rally track instead of truck rest area. Yes, this is the exit back to the highway. So that's it. We have rested, we have taken some fuel on. I think there will be one more rest stop until we get to the finish line, and we are around halfway there, so yeah, I'll see you a bit later. final rest of this trip. I think I will do 2 rests here, so that final delivery is in daylight, just so it's nicer to see when it's light outside. So here we go. We're gonna park here. Parking brake on, lights off, engine off, and let's rest. So it's late afternoon, which means that our arrival time is, doesn't say, but it's some 8 or 9 hours, so yeah, that's definitely in the night. So we'll sleep one more time. Oh, it's raining, no biggie. So there we are. It's 3 in the morning. We are already in Spain. Let's put on high beams. Let's turn on wipers. Parking brake off, and let's go. So yeah, just some 8.5 hours left in the trip. That means we'll be arriving in Vigo somewhere between 11 and noon. And yeah, let's continue this final leg of this trip. Final 670 kilometers, and I'll meet you when we're kilometers before we are at our destination. So this trip went good, and I'm actually surprised how long it took me to do it in real life. It's almost 2 hours now. Hour and a half exactly, I think, actually, since I started. So yeah, I did not expect it to go on for so long, but it's my longest ever job that I did through Road of Trucks external contracts in game, and I wanted to move from Balkans area a bit to Iberia, where I was, where I did drive when it came, but not much. So I wanted to explore this part of the map, and yeah, I could have gone with quick travel, but this way, although it takes a lot more time, is more fun than that. So near the drop-off point in Vigo, hopefully ice cream did not melt in my trailer. 14 tons of ice cream. Do you think they'd notice if a box or two would go missing? I could go for ice cream now. So yeah, I expected to come into the sunny Spain, drop off my load, go to the beach a bit, relax before we pick up next cargo, but game had different ideas. It's raining, and it's been raining a lot. I'm not sure though, because I haven't played the game for like months. Have they changed effects that come from tires when driving on the wet road? They seem to be a bit more detailed than I remember. And then maybe I'm just I just haven't done much driving in rain, so I don't remember correctly. I noticed though that my force feedback feels different. It's much smoother than it was before. I don't know if some settings changed since I upgraded my PC and had to reinstall the game again. If something in controls changed, I don't know, but yeah, it feels much better. The force feedback when I used to go through long corners, it was twitching my wheel in my hands, and it was rumbling very loudly. Now, this time around, it feels super smooth, almost as if I have a different steering wheel in front of me, which I don't mind. I absolutely don't mind if they change anything. It just caught me a bit off guard. I thought something's not working correctly. This is a nice little area. Reminds me of Croatia, where when you go to Rijeka from east side of the town, of the city, where previously it was just one road with many crossroads. Now there is roundabout after roundabout after roundabout, and yeah, this part reminded me of that. So here we are at the destination depot. Let's see where they want this trailer. So, oh, it's close here. Oh, it's very close actually. Let's turn our hazards on. Oh yeah, that's tight. No biggie, we'll manage. I haven't done any parking with head tracking so far, so that will be fun. We have to go forward some more, like this. Nice it. Okay. Manage on the first try. Oh, no. I'm gonna scrape that other trailer. So like this. Again, no. I'll get it. Just bear with me quickly. Okay. I'll go forward. This. Definitely very close. I have to go forward still. Going now. It's going in now. Yes. It's getting better. Did I hit something on the other side? Probably. Let's pull up. Now it's going in, yes. It wasn't very gracious, but we managed. Okay, so turn off the wipers, turn off hazards, lights, turn on parking brake, turn off the engine, and let's unhook the trailer. Oh, it took me 3 hours to do this. Oh, more than I expected. Oh, damn. Okay. Oh, that's good. So, that will be all from me for this video. If you have anything to add, please comment down below. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.